Afternoon, everyone. I call to order the closed session meeting of the Mayor and City Council at 4:04 p.m. Thank you for being here, and thank you to those viewing remotely. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Here.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Here.
Councilmember Charette.
Here.
Councilmember Canas.
Here.
Councilmember Flores.
Present.
Councilmember Ortiz.
Here.
And Mayor Tran.
Here. Thank you. Moving on to public comments for closed session. Madam City Clerk, do we have any?
We have received no request for closed session public comments.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. City Attorney, you do have a comment?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. There's two items on closed session, and the second item is conference with legal counsel, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D2, one case. I have to report some circumstances that justify you meeting in closed session. Those circumstances are that there was a letter drafted by Mandeville Modular sent to the council on June 25th of this year, saying that there are some outstanding invoices that he's due money. The city disagrees, and that's what you will be discussing in closed session. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now go into closed session at 4:05 p.m. Okay, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here, and thank you to those viewing remotely. I call to order this joint regular meeting of the Mayor and City Council and the Mayor and City Council acting as the successor agency to the redevelopment agency of the City of San Bernardino, the San Bernardino City Housing Authority, and as the San Bernardino Joint Powers of Finance Authority at 5:10 p.m. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Here.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem is here but not at the dais. Councilmember Charette is here but not at the dais. Councilmember Canas.
Here.
Councilmember Flores.
Present.
And Councilmember Ortiz.
Here.
And Mayor Tran.
Here. Thank you.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem, I hear he's here. We will now move on to closed session reporting. Mr. City Attorney?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The council met in closed session to discuss two items. They are listed on the agenda. There is no reportable action from closed session. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move on to invocation and pledge. We have Chaplain Joseph Paul Lujan from Victory Outreach Church will lead tonight's invocation. Please approach the podium at this time. And we will have the Troop 920 Girl Scouts. We have Catalina Bedoya, Nave Nava, Sydney Elliott, Claire Thorpe, Emily Valdez, Celine Schuingel, and Rhea Brown, and Isabella Perez. Please all rise.
Amen. If you bow your heads with me. Father, we just come before you this evening, God, and we just thank you for another day, Father. And we pray tonight, God, as we gather here, my God, to take care of business with our city, God, that your presence would be here, God. I pray that there would be, Father, reverence here, God, in everything that is spoken, God. We're here today, God, to bring solutions, God, not problems, God. And we ask, God, that you would be in the midst of every conversation. As the Bible says, a good man brings good things out of the goodness in his heart. And Father, we pray today, God, that there would be goodness in every person's heart here as we speak together as the city of San Bernardino, God. We love you and thank you for your presence, God, and we know that there is answers, God, and you have them. So we seek you tonight, God. We love you and thank you for everyone that attended, God. And once again, God, we know that there is reverence here. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' name, amen.
Do we have the Girl Scouts or troop? Please approach the podium.
Please place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Chaplain, and thank you to the Troop 920 Girl Scouts. We are moving on to presentation. We do have one. Council would like to join me to the front of the stage. We have a proclamation for the Parks and Recreation Month in the city of San Bernardino, July 2025. We're going to present this to Vanessa Carter, the Acting Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Services and Staff. If you have any staff, please have them join us too. Okay. Oh, there's a little fur baby. Is that up for adoption? Oh, he's adopted. Yay! He found a family. Okay. All right, everyone. Proclamation of the Mayor and City Council proclaiming July 2025 as Parks and Recreation Month in the city of San Bernardino. Whereas Parks and Recreation is an integral part of communities throughout this county, including the city of San Bernardino, and whereas Parks and Recreation promotes health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks, and whereas Parks and Recreation encourages time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being, and elevating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorder, and Alzheimer's disease. And whereas Parks and Recreation supports physical activity by providing space for sports, hiking trails, swimming pools, playgrounds, and other amenities designed to promote active lifestyles. And whereas Park and Recreation programming, including after-school programs, youth sports, summer camps, and environmental education, plays a vital role in development of San Bernardino's youth and lifelong learning for residents of all ages. And whereas Parks and Recreation is fundamental to environmental well-being of our community, preserving green spaces, protecting natural resources, and promoting sustainability. Whereas the City of San Bernardino proudly recognizes and celebrates the many benefits provided by our local parks, recreation services, and community centers. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and the entire City Council of the City of San Bernardino hereby proclaim the month of July 2025 as Park and Recreation Month in the City of San Bernardino under the theme San Bernardino Parks, where community comes together, and encourages all residents to enjoy support and take pride in the parks, programs, and recreational opportunities that enrich the lives of everyone in our community. Presented on the second day of July 2025. Big round of applause.
So I want to take the opportunity to thank the City of San Bernardino and our incredible community for your enthusiastic support of July's Parks and Recreation Month. Your commitment to this year's theme, Build Together, Play Together, truly highlights the essential role you play in making our programming and events successful. Together, we continue to create spaces that inspire connection, joy, and community spirit. In addition, I want to take a big shout out to the department staff for everything that they do day in and day out. Without you guys, our community wouldn't thrive. Thank you.
That said, we'll see you at the Summer Sizzling concert and see you at the parks, movies. Okay, pictures. All right, we will now move on to public hearing. Item number 2, conduct a public hearing to consider adjusting the maximum permitted service rates for integrated solid waste collection, processing, and disposal services. So welcome to the City of San Bernardino public hearing on proposed increases to rates for solid waste services charges. Before we open the public hearing, I would like to ask our city attorney to explain the requirements of Proposition 218 governing this public hearing and the proposed adoption of the rates and charges. Mr. City Attorney?
Thank you, Mayor. This public hearing was set in compliance with Proposition 218 to ensure maximum transparency and in an abundance of caution. That being said, the city voluntarily subjected the proposed rates to the Prop 218 procedures and does not concede their applicability to privately provided solid waste service. The city mailed a notice of this public hearing to any record owner whose property is subject to the imposition of the proposed rates and charges, and any customers of record who are not property owners. The date and time of this public hearing is not less than 45 days after the city mailed the notice. The purpose of the public hearing is for the City Council to hear all oral testimony and consider all written protests concerning the proposed rate increases. It is also held to determine whether there is a majority protest to the proposed rates and whether to proceed with the adoption of the proposed rates. Property owners and tenants are not required to provide oral testimony at today's hearing. If you wish, though, you may simply submit a written protest directly to the city clerk indicating your opposition to the proposed rate increases. However, if you wish your protest to be counted, you must submit a written protest prior to the close of the public hearing tonight. The public hearing will be closed after the City Council has heard and considered all oral testimony on these items. Oral comments made today do not qualify as written protests. If written protests against the proposed rate increases are presented by a majority of the owners of the identified parcels upon which the charges are to be imposed, or tenants directly liable for the payment of the charges, the City Council may not impose the rate increases. If there is no majority protest, the City Council may impose the rate increases. Pursuant to state law governing Proposition 218, in determining whether a majority protest exists, only one written protest per parcel may be counted. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. May we have the staff report, please?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Tonight you're going to hear a public hearing regarding the adjusting the maximum permitted service rate for the City of San Bernardino's integrated solid waste collection, processing, and disposal services. This will affect all wards. Just a little bit of general background. The city entered into the current franchise agreement with Vertec Waste on January 19, 2016. City did approve 2 amendments at the January 25th, 2016 meeting regarding transfer of assets. And then last year on July 3rd, 2024, the City Council approved an extension of the franchise agreement from March 31st, 2026 to March 31st, 2031. Under the franchise agreement, Vertec is responsible for providing weekly collection of refuse, recycling, green waste, and organic waste at all single and multifamily residential properties, on-call bulky collection at single and multifamily residential properties, commercial collection using 64 or 96-gallon carts, or 2, 3, 4, and 6-yard commercial bins, and 10, 20, and 40-yard roll-off bins. They are required to provide collection services at city service units at no cost to the city, and that is listed, the sites for those are listed in the franchise agreement. They are also providing street sweeping services throughout the city, as well as right-of-way cleanup services at no cost to the city. As part of the franchise agreement, Vertec provides annual revenue payments to the city totaling approximately $10 million. They include a value-added franchise fee of $500,000 per year. That concluded in April of this year. A host fee payment of approximately $325,000 per year. Landfill maintenance cost avoidance for the Waterman landfill of $500,000 per year, with increases in the same amount as any charges to the maximum permissible service rates. They also provide a $500,000 payment for use of our biofueling station at the city yard. There is a $250,000 infrastructure repair fee that's included that allows us to take the money for pavement repairs as necessary to offset the potential damage from the refuse services. And then monthly franchise fee payments of 20% of total gross revenues, as well as annual recyclable revenue share payments that are 50% of net revenue from sale of recycled materials. As part of the franchise agreement, there is a CPI adjustment in Section 21.13B that provides that Burtech may increase the maximum permitted service rate by CPI each July 1st, up to a maximum of 5% increase annually. In the event that that amount is above 5% or below, those differences can be carried over into subsequent years. Burtech must send a proposed rate adjustment calculation and full rate schedule for review by March of each year. And the CPI rate is based on the 12-month annual average percentage change for January 1, December 31 period compared to the prior year in the All Urban Consumer Index, not seasonally adjusted, all items, Riverside, San Bernardino, Ontario, as published by the U.S. Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics. On February 28th, 2025, Burtech did submit a timely proposed rate increase to the city manager for the maximum permitted service rates effective July 2nd. Upon examination of the rate submission, staff determined that the monthly single-family residential increase proposed was $29.79, which was a 12.8% increase over the current rate of $26.42. Additional commercial front-load bin rate increases ranged from 2.61, which is the CPI for the period, to 8.03%. On or about March 18, 2025, staff and representatives of Burtech met to review and discuss the proposed rate increase. As a result of that discussion, Burtech provided an updated submission on March 20th, which resulted in the proposed $27.75 rate increase for single-family residents, which represented a maximum of 5.03%. Commercial rates were not adjusted in the revised submission, and increases reflected higher costs associated with greater frequencies of services. Just to give the council a little bit of history as far as the rates over the period of the franchise agreement, when Burtech did start this contract, the monthly rate for residential, single-family, and multifamily was $22.84. It was the same rate in 2017. In April of 2018, they came before you for a rate increase for CPI. It was Resolution 2018-90, which established a 5-year CPI plan for rate increases. It's important to note that that was for the maximum, and they actually would use the existing actual CPI to set the rates. So as you see in the table, monthly not to exceed rate, that is the maximum. The actual rate for those periods were actually significantly lower. And then that period ended in 2021, and 2022, 23, 24, the rates have stayed same as they are today. This provides you a little bit of a graphic of what I just described. The maximum permitted service rate on July 1st, 2021 was $28.30. However, due to the CPI cap, the actual charge by Burtech was $26.42. What you have before you tonight is a proposed residential rate. The existing rate is $26.42 per month. The CPI increase would be $68.95 per month. That would result in a $27.11 per month rate. If the council elects to approve additional cost recovery, which amounts to 2.39%, That would add an additional 63 cents per month, with the maximum permitted service rate being $27.74. That is, the difference between $27.74 and $27.75 is due to rounding. One of the things that we looked at as staff was we wanted to give you a comparison of how our refuse rate stacked up with some of the cities in the region. And so we did a survey of the different cities, what the current rate is at 2025-26, and the percent change. And so in yellow there, you could see that our rate at 27.75 is still lower than the next closest city, which is Loma Linda at 30.14. The range in prices for refuse services in the region range from our rate of $27.75 if approved, all the way up to $43.81. It's important to note that the cost of solid waste has been going up. The cities of Los Angeles and San Diego have recently announced rates as high as $50 a month. So it's important that we realize that the value of it. The average of all of those rates is $37.07. That's approximately we are approximately $10 below the average for all those cities. This again is an example to kind of show you what the rate increases, the delta between all of the different cities are in a visual. Again, the average for all of them is $37.07, and our proposed rate is $27.75 as the maximum. Turning now to the commercial rate history. Again, there were several rate increases. We apologize for the significant detail here, but because of the nature of commercial, where you have differences in sizes of bins and frequency, we have provided 2-yarder 1 time a week all the way up to 6-yarder 6 times a week. We show in the first column 2016 that shows what the rates were, and then under the resolution 2018-90, those rates were escalated. However, in approximately 2019, Burtech came forward with a request for an additional rate increase due to change of law resulting from the mandatory commercial recycling and mandatory commercial organics recycling programs that had been implemented through previous council. And so the last 5 columns that are up there show you what the rates have been since 2019. And as you can see, those rates have not changed since 2019. 2021 was the last rate increase there. Again, I apologize for the size of this, but because of the nature of the variety of services, we have what is proposed as the rates by Burtech in blue. The current rate for a 1-yard 1 time a week is $145.42. The rate submission that Burtech provided was $151.28. Going all the way up to 6 cubic yards 6 times a week, the current rate is $1,369.23. The proposed rate, as submitted by Burtech, is $1,479. It's important to note that the typical service level for commercial is usually a 3 or 4-yard bin, anywhere from 1 to 3 times per week. And so I want to just call that out to you, that a 3 cubic yard 3 times a week, the current rate is $438.67, and the proposed rate is $468.67. With both the CPI and the request for the additional cost, that represents about a $30 a month increase. 4-yarder 1 time a week is $171.77. Burtech's proposed rate is $184.50. That represents about a $12.73 increase. We also broke out on the additional 2 columns the percent increase based on the CPI of 2.61 and what that would add to it, and then the additional increase that would be the result of costs. And we are going to ask Burtech to step up and explain what these costs are and how they reached it. One thing it's important to note regarding refuse and refuse service is that while the city has a mandatory refuse collection requirement for single and multifamily, that you're not able to get out of. Commercial is slightly different because the commercial services are not predicated on property ownership. They are predicated on the service or the activity that is occurring. So I gave you an example of a commercial customer that may need 12 cubic yards of service per week, and they can get to that 4 different ways. They can get to it with a 2 cubic yard 6 times a week, which would cost them $909.99, or they could get to a 12 cubic yards, 3 cubic yards, 4 days a week. That would be $616, and that's a significant reduction from the 900, the smallest bin there. If they opted for a cubic yard of service 3 days a week, they would save an additional $100 from the 3 yard. And then if they had the space for a 6 cubic yard, those are very big bins that are not wheelable. They have to be placed in position. That service rate would be $512.86. So the commercial is a little bit different because it's affected by the type of business activity and the type of service that the business owner selects. And so our recommendation today is going to be, as pointed out by the city attorney, to conduct the public hearing to receive public comments on the proposed maximum permitted service rates. Determine if a written protest has been received from a majority of the owners and tenants of the parcels which are subject to the maximum permitted service rate, and there are 41,000 residential customers in the city, so that would be your maximum number. And then if there is no majority protest, adopt the resolution as part of your package. And I am going to ask Mike Aragon from Burtech if he will step up to the podium and provide you with additional explanation regarding the rate increases that were above and beyond the CPI. So I'll ask Mike to come on up.
There we go. Good afternoon, Mayor, council members, Mike Aragon, Burtech Waste Industries. Your questions of Lynn, what is it that you would like me to expand on?
What I'd like you to do, Mike, is explain the delta between the CPI and the proposed rates that were submitted.
Okay, from a residential standpoint, I think in the staff report it's very clear the additional percentage and 60 some odd cent increase is a portion of what the cost of the 1383 program that was presented to the city last year as part of their compliance with regard to Cal Recycle and 1383. Last year we included that into the amendment. We postponed the cost increase for that for 1 year, coming back this year with that cost. As staff has indicated, that was part of the proposed $29 rate. We have negotiated with staff to bring that down even further for this year, just passing through a portion of that rate, which brought it down to the $27 and change. The fees are associated with, again, all the compliance efforts that are needed for 1383, both residential and then in commercial. It was a 38 cent per yard increase, and that, again, speaks to the administrative work, education and outreach, and compliance efforts for all 1383 residential and commercial.
Thank you, Mike. It is important to note that as part of SB 1383, there are audit requirements that the state has placed upon the city to verify that the residents are actually using the services appropriately. And there is a lot of compliance efforts that are also required, a lot of reporting. And so that's an important element, that there are additional costs that are beyond just simply picking up the trash. And with that, I'm free to answer any questions. I believe Mike will be available as well.
Thank you. Thank you. The public hearing will be conducted in the following manner. The public hearing will open for any person wishing to speak on this item. After all oral testimony has been heard, the public hearing will close. Only those written protests submitted prior to the close of the public hearing will be counted. You'll be given a maximum 3 minutes to speak, so we ask that you keep your comments brief and to the point so that we can allow everyone a chance to speak. Our city clerk will be keeping a time for each speaker. You will be notified when you have reached your maximum allowed time. If a previous speaker has already addressed the items you were going to speak on, you are not required to state them as well and have the opportunity to waive your right to speak. To facilitate the discussion, any questions from the speakers will not be answered during the public hearing. I will now open the public hearing at 5:40 p.m. And I believe we have 3 speakers. Madam City Clerk?
Junior Carrillo, Clementina Pena Bernal, Raul Raya.
If you hear a name, please approach the podium at this time to speak on this matter. Junior Carrillo, please. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and staff. I did a little homework on Burtec, and what this really comes down to is $1.33 a month, $2.66 every billing cycle. They build every other month. When you stop and look at the cleanups they do, which are no cost to the city, the dump days, the large items. I mean, has anybody bought a dozen eggs lately? I mean, $1.33. But let me tell you the good news. If you're a senior, you can apply for a senior discount, which is 10%, which will more than offset the $2.60. Well, it's 10% of your bill. So if your bill every 2 months is $52, you're going to pay 10% less than that, $5. So you're actually going to pay less if you apply for the senior discount. I mean, I strongly encourage you. I applied for mine about close to a year ago. And even with the increase, I'm not going to pay per month or per billing cycle, which is 2 months. I'm going to pay less than the increase. So I encourage everybody. I mean, they do a lot of things for the city that a lot of people aren't aware of. Pioneer Park today, 57 tons of trash, and Burtec was there. I mean, when we have community functions, Burtec is there. I mean, they are partnering with us. I did the same thing. All right, here we go again. So if you just use the dump day, if that doesn't save you $2.66, just once. I mean, there's just so many things. Like I said, 57 tons of trash at Pioneer Park. Thanks, Public Works, for getting that cleaned up. You know, we talk about the CPI and all this other stuff. Basically, what it comes down to is $1.33 a month. I mean, I don't like to have increases at all, but you know what? Everything's increased. I mean, really, for what they're doing for us and the increase they've absorbed, it's really cheap. It really is. I mean, they partner with us in so many city events. What price do you put on that? You know, like I said, I did a comparison with the three neighboring cities, and we got the best rate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please state your name. Please come forward.
My name is Raul Raya, and actually, I really don't have much to say about the trash because I know they have always picked up my trash. Prices wise, I believe San Bernardino, well, now this invested with real glass, probably that's the reason that the money goes more towards LA than San Bernardino. Maybe that's the reason why the money that they collect from San Bernardino doesn't stay all here. Maybe that's part of the reason that we are increasing our rates here. For $52, I mean, I'm more than glad to keep paying it, you know, because that's the way it is. But if I was to fill up my truck in a month and take it to the dump, it will only cost me $50 up to $60 if I was to fill up my truck, but I would never fill it up in a month time. So I think $52 would be right. But raises now, by this time, from the following 3 or whatever years they're going to come out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be paying $75 up to close to $100, the way it goes. That's the only my concern was. That we should, well, whoever's in charge of San Bernardino managing money, there's a lot of money that should be coming in San Bernardino. Where's the money at? I don't know. I'm not an education person. I didn't even write down what I would like to say. That's what I'm saying, these things only right now. But I hope it doesn't go really higher than that. At my age, I'm already gone. I'm over 82 years old, so it won't even matter to me. But I'm just thinking for the people that stays behind and keep paying. That's all it is. I thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hi, good evening. My name is Clementina Piña. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for the honest 5%. And I'm sorry not to be very positive, but if you guys remember, I still have it right here with me. The reason we don't change the amount is because a couple years ago, it was many discrepancies on the paperwork, which it come to 43%, not 5%. You guys probably, some of you guys remember me coming and fighting it with it. Second, you cannot compare Loma Linda to San Bernardino, no way. Loma Linda is right here. And unfortunately, we are right here. We don't have the trash. Loma Linda don't have the trash that we have. And what I don't understand is, like the gentleman said, we have to be grateful for whatever help birthday give, but yes, we paying for it. Mexico have no charge. Mexico, it doesn't compare to this country. It's in a lower position. We're a high-rate country, and we have to pay for everything. Now, San Bernardino already grew residential and industrial. It's many commercials, many business, many houses, many warehouses, etc. So where does all that money goes? Why do we accept if we have to pay the 5%? Yes. I can't, that's less than a hamburger, 5%. Yes, but you guys inputting already all these many years coming. Like the gentleman say, how are we gonna live? What is the percentage of people? The words that you major say, community come together. Yes, community come together, but look at like democracy, all you guys have a line separating you from the community. Because the community don't make the money that you make. The community will live on paid days. We don't have the money. We don't, Proposition 218, years ago, I walked streets to gather signatures. And what happened? We still lose. We don't have an emergency response department because we lose it to the county. So where is all this money that we have? Where the money go? I don't have a major in math, but common sense told me that there's a lot of money staying on this county. So where is it? Why do we have to pay extra for, yes, a simple service of trash? Yes, like him, I don't need my trash to be picked up every Monday. It's just me and my husband. Once a month will be enough. So I ask you to reconsider everything or to give more time for this prop, because all the thousands of customers that we are, 45 days is not enough. Not everybody speaks English.
Thank you. I'm prepared to close the public hearing. Do we have any more speakers? Seeing none, before I do that, I would like to provide anyone who would like to submit a withdrawal or withdraw a written protest the opportunity to do so now. Once the public hearing is closed, any written protest on the proposed rate increases may no longer be accepted. Are there any remaining protests to be delivered to the city clerk? Seeing none, I'm now closing the public hearing at 5:50 p.m. I would ask the city clerk to provide the tabulation results for all valid written protests submitted prior to the close of the public hearing.
Prior to the close of the public hearing, we received a total of 13 written protest letters regarding the rates for solid waste service charges. For the proposed rates for the city's solid waste service charge, a majority of the owners identified parcels or tenants directly liable for such charges required to constitute a majority protest would equal 20,638. A majority protest does not exist to the proposed rate for the solid waste service charge.
Thank you. The city clerk has advised us that based on the number of valid written protests submitted prior to the close of the public hearing, a majority protest does not exist for the adoption of the proposed rates for the solid waste service charges. The city council may now proceed to consider the proposed resolution to adopt the Third Amendment to the franchise agreement and the increases to the city's solid waste service charges. As a reminder, the time for public comment has ended, and the city council will not engage directly with any individual customer or member of the public. Do any members of the council wish to discuss this item or have any comments? I do have two. Let's start with Councilmember Ortiz, followed by Councilmember Ibarra, followed by Councilmember Sanchez.
Thank you, Mayor. I had a question, if Mr. Aragon, if you would. So I know that Junior mentioned the discount rate for seniors, but the community brought up a good point, and I don't know if this is what the answer to this is. So if you would, are there any discounts for single person families or small bin pickup? Is that available in our city for anybody?
Yes, first of all, the 10% discount is valid, has been since last year. And that carries through for any increases. It's always that 10% discount. We've also introduced a smaller container for solid waste. It's a 35-gallon container. So for those particular households that don't, that don't generate that level of trash, they would still get their recycling and green waste container in a smaller trash container. One of the comments made was, well, I only have enough trash to set it out once a month or whatever. Unfortunately, due to health and safety laws, the disposal of waste has to be performed on a weekly basis.
Thank you for that. And then to the city, and I got one more question for you. But is that something, when we send out the notices, that we can refresh the community's knowledge of and let them know that these things exist for them? Because, I mean, I honestly didn't know I can get a smaller bin.
One of the things that we do work on is information regarding the SB 1383 there is public information that's mailed out by Burtech. We could certainly include that.
Okay, and do you think we could possibly start like putting this out on social media as well, like as we're campaigning it to people there, English and Spanish and multi-languages?
Yes.
Thank you so much. And then, sir, a part of the contract is the street sweeping, and I know I can't not remember a year where we have not discussed street sweeping. Where are we with street sweeping in conjunction with your contract?
We did change vendors a little over a year ago. Our previous vendor, there was a number of issues and problems. We have since replaced that vendor, and to our knowledge, our existing vendor receives rave reviews. But we sweep cities twice a month, all residential routes and streets, as well as major arterials and the downtown. I believe it's a minimum of 2 times a month, but I believe in some circumstances we do it weekly.
And then as per the signage, I think there's a $2 million allocation. Is that your responsibility or the city's responsibility for signage and scheduling?
The decision as far as the sweeping schedule is actually in Burtech's responsibility. The $2 million that's been identified and has existed in the CPI is actually to pay for the signage that we would install. Any additional sign changes that could be the result of a schedule change would be also the city's responsibility. That is something that we really need to kind of have a separate discussion on regarding the use of those funds and the signage.
Okay, because I think that a lot of residents in my ward blame Burtech for their cars and stuff getting, and so I think making sure that we solidify the conversation on everything that is included, because you know what the taxpayers pay for these services does matter, and this has been a lingering conversation. And so
Absolutely.
I do appreciate the street sweeping when they come. I don't appreciate that we don't know when they're coming. And so I think that's something that's valuable. And in and of that, I know that you guys, I just want to make sure we're clarified, you did not get a rate increase for 2 consecutive years. This is...
We have not received a rate increase for fiscal year 22, 23, and 24.
So 3 years. And,
Right.
and this is a 5% at $1.33 a month, so roughly $16 a year potential impact.
Right.
But if it does impact you in a senior or single family, you can apply.
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to say to the 13 people and to the people that came here this evening, thank you. Like, it may not be the loudest group, you may not be the majority, but your voice is still valid and heard. And so please don't ever think just because you may not win the majority vote that your existence didn't matter in this process. So I just wanted to extend my thank you to those who took their time to be a part of this process and a part of your own democracy. Thank you, Mr. Aragon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilmember Ibarra, followed by Councilmember Sanchez, and then Councilmember Flores.
Thank you, Mayor, and Burtech, thank you for working with us. For anybody who may or may not recall, from the very beginning, I was against the rate increases, and since being in the council, that has been my #1 goal, that we don't increase rates on our residents. If anybody missed our meeting a year ago, we also asked about discounted pricing. There is discounted pricing. Just know that it's just a matter of contacting Burtech. And on this one, Mr. Mike, maybe we can just keep sending those flyers to remind residential customers, especially the mobile homes. You're looking at $18.62 a month if you are living in a mobile home complex or senior. If you want a smaller barrel, 35-gallon barrel, you're looking at $24.60 a month, or $22.14 if you're a senior. So there are discounts. That was something that was not in the contract originally with Burtech. They have been very gracious, working through our city. They know the needs of our community. And so I'm okay with the $1.33, especially after 3 years. That was because of us. We were asking them to not increase the rates. We're trying to negotiate with them. And so they've been a good steward to our community. And, we look forward to, trying to help the community as much as we can. But if you are a senior citizen, you live in a mobile home park, or you're single, there are discounts for you already in place through Burtech. Please contact them. And I don't know if I can say this in Spanish, pero para la comunidad latina que no puede leer en inglés, cuando yo primero empecé aquí en el concilio, yo me resistía mucho a los incrementos de la basura en la ciudad, porque yo sé la necesidad de la comunidad. Tenemos gente de bajos recursos, tenemos gente que están en ingresos fijos y a través de esos tiempos que yo he estado aquí, yo he peleado constante para que no se les suban los precios de la basura. Por 3 años no hubo incremento, pero a la misma vez también pedimos que dieran descuento a nuestra comunidad de tercera edad y también la comunidad de mobile homes. Si tú eres soltero, no usas mucha basura, también tienes un descuento. Solo es de comunicarte con Bertec para que te dé ese descuento. Estamos viendo entre 24 y 18.62 al mes, que es mucho más barato de lo que estamos pagando ahorita. Gracias. Thank you.
If I could, Mayor, if I could respond to Council Member Ybarra. First and foremost, we do send out a newsletter with every billing, so we'll make sure that we make a point of whether it's a reduced size container, remind people for senior discounts. It has been some time. We've had some transition with staff and ourselves, but I will say that it's been a great partnership with staff in negotiating and working through some of these options that have come forward since we first got the contract, and it's all been for the betterment of the community. So it is a partnership, and the things that we do, even if it's not in our contract, this is a community, we feel like we're part of that community. Our staff members, really our drivers, our managers and whatnot, they care a lot about what goes on. We hope that is something that the council sees, something that the community sees on a day in, day out basis. And if we have an issue, then we want to know about it. And believe me, staff is not shy to let us know.
You've heard me loud and clear throughout the years.
And we get it handled. So as we say, we'll take care of it.
Thank you. And then one more question. Just, I think there was a misinformation. I just want to clarify for the public. How many bulky items per year are you offering our city residents?
There are two collections per year, up to 5 items per collection.
Okay, thank you.
And they can be refrigerators or couches or chairs, as long as it's not hazardous material.
Thank you for clearing up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilmember Sanchez, followed by Councilmember Flores.
I believe the survey speaks for itself. You have a very, very competitive rate. We have a good, strong, candid relationship between Bertec and the city, and we're glad to have you. Move to approve the rates as proposed in the 218 notice.
Thank you,
And I'd
Councilman.
like to second that.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilmember Flores.
Thank you, Mayor. Just kind of piggybacking off of Councilmember Ibarra. So, a question for Bertec. So the big component for the raise is SB 1383. I'm just going to use the mobile home park I reside at as an example. We don't have a black bin, blue bin, green bin. There's just one dumpster that we all, it's like just throw our trash in. Now with the implementation of these rates, will there be like a future where these bins will be like brought to these communities, residential areas?
Absolutely. Just for some clarification, Councilmember, are you on, does everyone use a bin for service, or do they have individual barrels?
Just, it's a bin. It's the dumpster.
Okay. There are some locations, and some commercial locations, where we have proposed because we have to deliver a blue bin, a gray bin for trash, blue bin for recyclables, green for green waste, and even organics barrels. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get permission from that facility. We'll just have to be a little more diligent, and if we do have issues with the placement of these containers, because that's what it sounds like, maybe we can get the support of city staff so that the owners of your complex, for example, understand that that is a state mandate. The city is just working in compliance with state law. But if it's not there, we will make sure that they have that opportunity, and hopefully they understand that it is a mandatory service.
Thank you. And finally, so when it comes to the trash rate on the monthly bill that comes, so I'm not sure, I'm just assuming that this happens to other residential areas as well. The cost is divided amongst the residents. There's no individual bill that comes to the resident themselves. So it's in terms of the say a senior discount that's living in the mobile home park, would they have to? They would come to you guys for?
Unfortunately, unless the bill has to be in that senior's name to receive the discount. For example, if it's at your facility and it is run by XYZ Property Management, even though there are seniors that live in the complex, the senior rate wouldn't apply. The senior rate is designed for primarily single-family homes, seniors that have individual trash service, and they would receive that discount.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you. On that same subject, would that same process apply to those who live in apartments, similar to mobile homes? Is that kind of similar, their situation is similar as
Again,
well?
only if, it really wouldn't matter the location. If they have barrel service in their name, apartments generally don't have barrel service, and the bill is more than likely not in their name. So again, it's more apt for a single-family home to receive that discount. But apartments, I do have it available for mobile home parks where they have their individual service and they get their own bill, then they can apply, absolutely.
Correct, and in fact, the rate is at about $18 a month is what I'm looking at here.
It's a tremendous rate.
So, Mike, I just wanted to say thank you to you and to Burtech for the partnership. You've done a lot of great things in the community as well. So I just wanted to say thank you. So is the increase for CPI or 1383?
The increase, as staff indicated, majority of the increase is a CPI increase. There's a small percentage, 60 some odd cents compared to the cost of the program of $2.60 some odd cents is applied this year. And so last year there was no cost. This year it's a 60-cent cost. But both years we have applied the entire program from a public education and outreach, from a reporting standpoint, even container label exchanges and whatnot. So we are working the program because we don't want Cal Recycle coming down on the city of San Bernardino and saying they're non-compliant. As you recall, I don't believe, you may or may not have been on the council when that happened before. We did have to go up to Sacramento and lobby for a former legislation, and we were successful so that the city would not get fined.
Correct. In fact, I believe our first conversation we had about this was in 2019,
That's
2020, right. and of course there was a lot of back and forth, between the city and Burtech negotiations, and I know there was I know the council fought hard on our end to keep it as low as possible, right, to implement 1383 and to make sure we are compliant. And so part of it, like you said, 68 cents or so, is to ensure that we are compliant with the state mandated law.
Absolutely.
An unfunded state mandated, yeah.
Yes, that's a very good point. And the city is in a good position, very good position. We're constantly pushing for more and more participation. We're seeing that grow. And there'll be audits by the state, and we support the city in responding to any of those audits.
Okay. And so my only concern moving forward, of course, is the 68 cents. I don't know what portion of 1383 that covers. Does it cover the whole implementation of the program? What assurance can we have that at some future point, we do another assessment, let's say, residents aren't really being as compliant as we hope, with the little bag and all that other stuff. Of course, that's an additional cost to sort that out. Are we to anticipate any other assessments of 1383 moving forward? And what can we tell our residents to say, okay, this is the cost to implement 1383 at this point? Or can again, for transparency purposes, will there be another assessment or another review of what the actual cost to implement the state mandated, the unfunded state mandated law here?
Councilman, that's an excellent question. As staff indicated in the staff report, and I have indicated, we have only passed through this year a portion of the real cost. The real cost, which was established by the city staff and their consultant. They actually went out, hired a consultant to evaluate the program, and we worked with city staff and the consultant to develop a cost. That cost came out at $2.60 some odd cents. Technically, that full amount should have been passed through. We have chosen the first year to have zero cost, the next year, meaning this year, to have a portion of that cost, and we will continue to work with staff to see how we would handle, again, with council as well, how we would handle the balance of that cost, or whether they could be offset in any way.
Cool, thank you. So out of the 260, whatever, we're really only paying 68 cents out of the full amount. So it's, I don't know, I'm not the percentage what that comes out to, but it's certainly.
I think he has the percentage in his document.
Yeah, the 68 cents is the percent of the total amount that it would actually cost.
Yeah, the CPI increase would be 2.61, which would be 68 cents and change. And the additional cost recovery is 2.39%, or about 63 cents per month for the additional cost recovery.
So that's what we're talking about. No, I just wanted to, again, put that out there, that it's
that's very good. I appreciate that.
60-something cents compared to what the actual real cost, which is a lot more than that. So thank you, Mike.
Absolutely.
Councilmember Canales, followed by Councilmember Charette.
And my comments and questions are actually very reflective of what Mayor Pro Tem just asked. But I do really want to highlight that, because SB 1383 was legislation that was passed, and it did incur costs to Burtech as a company. And you guys have graciously chosen to not fully implement that cost associated with SB 13 on the city of San Bernardino, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
So at this time, even with these price adjustments, you guys are not fully recouping the cost of doing business in the city of San Bernardino for SB 13.
Yeah, on that program, on that particular program, council member, that's a correct statement.
Okay. And we appreciate that. Thank you. And I know this council, even before we got here, worked with you quite feverishly to ensure that residents did not accrue any astronomical price adjustments within their billing. And I do want the audience and all residents watching to know that. A comment was made in regards to Loma Linda and their trash services. I want to highlight, the city of San Bernardino was mentioned by our Public Works Director. We service about 41,000 is the capacity that they're dealing with for the city of San Bernardino. I'm sure that Loma Linda is much less, but the city of San Bernardino is paying $27 in comparison to their $30. So we are still much lower, even though our service capacity is higher. They are giving us an astronomical deal. In addition to that, Burtech does do so much beyond just trash service and street sweeping for the city of San Bernardino. So thank you. We sincerely appreciate you guys have been willing partners. I do look forward to having more greater conversation when it comes to the recouping all of the costs associated with SB 1383. But I do appreciate you guys being very cognizant of San Bernardino, our taxpayers, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, council member. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilmember Charette.
Thank you, Mayor. And Mike, they all beat me to it.
They did, but Fred, you've been there through all the wars.
I've been through the wars for sure, and I appreciate it, but it's been said, and maybe I'll say it slightly differently. We're, even with a raise in cost or to our ratepayers, we're still $2, more than $2 lower than the next closest in the region, which is significant, I believe. And I also believe that you folks do a really excellent job.
Thank you.
I really do. Your involvement in the community is beyond reproach. I certainly get good responses when we have issues and I have to call you or one of your staff to deal with it. So a lot of what I would have said has been said already. I just think it's very important to know that all costs are going up. I think it was Junior said, has anyone bought eggs lately? And of course, I think they're going down right now, which is good. But I appreciate the service that you guys provide and your involvement with our community and your responsiveness and doing all that you can to maintain the rates where they are and to hold them down as much as we possibly can. So with all that said, I don't know if there's a second on it. I will second it. There is.
Yes.
Oh, there's one other question.
Sure.
Really kind of the main question. And it may have been answered or it may have been asked and answered. The discounts, how does one go about, has that been discussed here tonight? Did I miss
Yeah.
it? How does one go about getting the discount? And with seniors, and I'm one, so I can say this, not everybody has a laptop or is IT. Can this be done on I assume on your website, but if someone's not able to do that, how can we get them the discount?
Phone call to our local office.
Okay.
Speak to our customer service reps. They may have some questions to ask. The discount is only age-driven, so it's not, a discount for low income or
Right.
anything along
It's
that
age,
line.
it's senior.
It's just
Yeah.
senior.
And what is that
age-driven.
qualification? Do you know?
I think it's 65 years old.
65,
Yeah.
okay. All right. That, by the way, is going up too, I think, qualifications, I think, because we're living longer.
Well,
So-
we'll maintain that, I promise you.
So you're maintaining 65 years old, and the easy way would be to pick up a phone
Yeah,
and
if
call.
they can't go online
Yeah.
and look at that.
But it is available online.
Absolutely.
And easily accessible.
Yeah, there's a form that needs to be filled out.
Okay.
And submit that. We'll
All right.
get the information and
Thank you, Mike.
process it. And Fred, if I could, if you don't mind, and I know you know ownership of our company personally, and I just want to reinstate the commitment that our ownership has to the city of San Bernardino. And a lot of what we've done, obviously, that's the bottom line, and that's the decisions that are made. And the support and the enthusiasm they have for the city of San Bernardino is unmatched.
Thank you, Councilmember. Great questions and comments, Council. Appreciate that, and thank you, Burtek, for all that you do.
Thank
I
you,
also
Mayor.
want to add that your employees, which were former city employees,
Yes.
are doing a fantastic job out there, very positive attitude. And so that's one of the things that I appreciate you as Burtek have transitioned our city employees who used to be here with us and picked them all up. So, and they're working for you and they're happy. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. I
So there
appreciate it.
is, you're welcome. There is a motion by Councilmember Sanchez, seconded by Councilmember Canas. Please call for the votes, at least voice votes, correct?
Yes, correct, Mayor. We are having some technical issues, and so we're going to be taking voice votes. Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you, council. I should also add one of the favorites is dump day. If you guys don't know, those are really great. Spring cleaning every month, y'all. All right, moving on to city manager update. Mr. City Manager.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council, and members of the community. Pleasure to give you our city manager, my city manager report. So first item up is the Parks and Recreation have taken our kids back to nature. For the past 2 weeks, 74 youth aged 7 to 12 and 54 teens aged 13 to 17 spent 5 days and 4 nights each up at Big Pine at Camp Elk as part of this year's Back to Nature program. The campers, many of them who've never been to the mountains or camping, spent their week learning outdoor skills, participating in team building activities, and making new friends. As you can see from the pictures, everyone had a wonderful time. We've had a number of investments in San Bernardino. In the past 2 weeks, we celebrated grand openings at Self-Help Credit Union's Loan Center on Carnegie Drive, Family Assistance Program on Highland Avenue, a new Starbucks on Central near Tippecanoe, and a grand reopening following a remodel at the El Pollo Loco at University Parkway and Kendall. Pleased to report that the segment repair projects approved by the City Council in December have been completed 5 months ahead of schedule. The project accelerates the resurfacing of 28 road segments across the city in need of repair and address streets with significant asphalt cracks, potholes, alligatering, ruts, and raveling. The $5.6 million project was funded by the American Rescue Plan Act. This is a cool story. Animal control rescues a trapped dog. After receiving multiple calls about a dog seen and heard in a storm drain, Animal Control Field Supervisor Andrew Fisher and Officer Jasmine Torres were able to locate the dog inside the drain. Once the area was secure, officers opened the drain, climbed inside, and safely retrieved the dog using a net. We're happy to report the dog named Dixie gradually began to warm up and accept affection from Animal Services staff. Last Saturday, Dixie was released to a foster family who had witnessed the rescue. She is doing well in foster care and will be adopted once her spay surgery is complete. You'll see a picture of Dixie, and that's wonderful. Kudos to our police department. In 2 recent busts alone, PD was able to seize 5,800 pounds of illegal fireworks. Both incidents were the result of traffic stops which prompted investigations and subsequent seizures. Remember, all fireworks are illegal north of the 210 freeway, and only safe and sane fireworks are allowed south of 210 between July 1st and July 4th. To report illegal firework activity, please call 909-383-5311. And there are options to see fireworks in San Bernardino. This weekend, San Bernardino's own IE 66ers will be putting on their largest fireworks show of the year following their 6:30 p.m. game on Friday, July 4th against the Lake Elsinore Storm. Also, the San Bernardino Symphony will be performing their annual patriotic concert and fireworks show at San Bernardino Valley College on Saturday, July 5th at 7:30 p.m. In addition to performing patriotic classes, the symphony will be dancing to the 80s with selections from that era. And finally, good luck to Coach Xavier Ochoa from San Bernardino's Wolf's Den training facility on E Street, who this month will be appearing as a contestant on NBC's American Ninja Warrior. Ochoa, who suffers from epilepsy, has worked at Wolf's Den for 4 years and has been an inspiration for everyone there. Mayor and Council, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. We will now move on to public comments. At this time, public comments will be heard for the items on the open session and items not on the agenda. To address the City Council, everyone must complete a speaker card and provide it to the City Clerk. Only those speaker cards turned into the City Clerk will be allowed to address the City Council. No late cards will be accepted. Each person should state their name for the record before beginning their comments. As your name is called, please line up in the order announced. We have 2 podiums available for your convenience. Please proceed to either one as soon as your name is called. Please note, your name will only be called once. If you do not respond when called, you may forfeit your opportunity to speak. And also, if you do require Spanish interpretation, we do have an interpreter on site. Please raise your hand at this time to indicate you would need interpreting assistance. In addition, we have interpreting listening devices available in the back.
En este momento se escucharán los comentarios públicos para artículos de la agenda y artículos que no están en la agenda. Para dirigirse al Consejo Municipal, cada individuo debe completar una tarjeta de orador. Se debe completar la tarjeta de orador y entregarla a la Secretaría Municipal en este momento. Solo aquellas tarjetas de orador entregadas a la Secretaría Municipal podrán dirigirse al Consejo Municipal. No se aceptarán tarjetas tardías. Cada persona debe indicar su nombre para el registro antes de comenzar sus comentarios. Al ser llamado, por favor, forme una fila en el orden anunciado. Disponemos de 2 podios para su comodidad. Diríjase a cualquiera de ellos tan pronto como se le llame su nombre. Si necesita interpretación en español, tenemos un intérprete presente. Por favor, levante la mano en este momento para indicar que requiere servicios. También tenemos aparatos disponibles para escuchar la Junta en español.
Thank you. Gracias. We have 44 speakers tonight. In light of the fact that we have 44 speakers, to allow adequate time for the City Council to address the city's official business on the agenda this evening, each speaker will be limited to 1.5 minutes per comment instead of 3 minutes in accordance with the resolution number 2018-89. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Madam City Clerk, please call the names.
Pastor Lou Wan, Al Palazzo, Mike Hartley, Christian Shaughnessy, Kim Calvin, Luis Ojeda, Eric Marquez, Georgia L., Sharon Negretti, Joe Salas, Irma Flores.
Please state your name.
Amen. Thank you for the opportunity. I just, that I come open up in prayer, and I stay for a while and listen to all the things that are going on. There's a lot of work to be done here in San Bernardino, but I wanted to say today, Honorable Mayor Tran and City Council, I would like to take this time to thank you and City Council and Parks and Recreation and all who were involved in the decision to clean up Ruben Campos Park, Bobby Vega Park, Meadowbrook Park, Paris Hill Park, Manuel P. Moreno Park, and as well as 14th Street Baseball Park with the help of Joe Baca Jr. And so we're also excited with the coming of the completion of the Mount Vernon Bridge before the end of this year. And I'm a proud resident of the West Side for 68 years. The park is such an important part of the community, especially for those who don't have the transportation to travel on holidays or school vacations. And in speaking to some of the residents, they're excited in the improvements, and we know that there is more to be done. But I just want to personally say thank you, guys. It's such a powerful thing to see that. I went out last 3 weeks to the different parks, and I'm born and raised here. You tell me your address, and I'll tell you the color of your house. I've been here all my life. And just in going into the communities, into the parks, and they all know me. And talking to the residents, they're excited.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
My name is Al Palazzo, Mayor, council members, city manager. I have nothing prepared, but I am looking forward to meeting the new city manager, and I will support him. And I would like to be the next economic development director and director of planning. The two departments don't have to be separated, at least with my education and training. Because one thing that a deputy assessor must do with every property that they assign a value to, they must know zoning. And I can tell you what's wrong with zoning in a 1,000 square block area here. Why the other cities in the county have left us behind. Why you don't have the tax base that you should have. It's not enough to wait for people to come to San Bernardino. You need to create enthusiasm. You need people who have experience working with business people. That's what I did for 35 years. Nobody's going to wave a magic wand. If I were on staff, we would have workshops during the week for the business community to explain the vision for San Bernardino. I could tell you every vacant parcel in this city, the type of building that should be built. And then I will explain to you the jobs that that building would create for the people of San Bernardino, not somebody from the outside.
Thank you.
How it would raise them.
Thank you, sir.
Is that my time?
Yes. Thank you so much.
I'm going to die at this microphone if I have to do this
Thank you,
every
sir.
2 weeks.
Next speaker, please state your name.
Promise to keep it quick. Christian Shaughnessy here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Mayor, Honorable Mayor, members of the council. I want to speak in favor of the item that was put on future discussion having to do with the city working together, a family assistance program, over on the very important Patton Hospital project that's upcoming. For the folks who don't know, of course, mental illness, chronic mental illness is something that's a very important factor that has to do with people staying on the street year after year after year. And so I really want to go and thank Assemblymember James Ramos and also Mayor Helen Tran for your good leadership, your good involvement in that kind of thing, and also continuing to engage in that conversation, ensuring that we can all keep on talking about that so we can actually see that project get done. And then with the limited time I have left, I want to say that around 2 meetings ago, there's some very specific criticism offered of the mayor's office having to do with what was essentially Kenesha's salary, having to do with Kenesha being paid well with all the inflation that's going on nowadays. And so to that, I just want to say that if somebody is going to go and criticize the mayor's office for alleged cost overruns or anything like that, it is of vital importance that you also practice fiscal soundness when it comes to having an RFP for BB&K, and also for not getting yourself involved in lawsuits that cost the city hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. I think fair is fair. These things shouldn't be balanced on the back of working people, and we need to take care of working people in this city, and we need to have honest contracts put before the taxpayers of the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Luis Ojeda. And today I wanted to thank Operations and Maintenance, Gerald Castle, for completing the job of the sidewalk. Took a little bit, but we got it done. Also, I reached out to Lynn, and I just want to tell you guys that the person that owns the house right there in the corner is very, very happy. And, you know, that was some of the things that Mr. Sanchez said the other day about, you know, liability on sidewalks. And that sidewalk definitely was a liability for the city. So it was in the 7th Ward, by the way, Treasurer. So also, now that we're going to have another city city manager, every time we get a new one, I always say the same thing. When are we going to finish the general plan? When? I think that we need that. General plan, that's the first thing that we need to work on, because that's the thing that it kind of keep us behind, because we don't really know, you know, which zone is right to what development. So let's work on it, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Kimberly Calvin here. And I definitely have to echo what Mr. Ojeda just stated, because I was going to come up here and say the same thing myself. When I looked at items to be considered for future meetings, and I see that Councilmember Sanchez has put strategic planning, goal setting, team building session, yada, yada, yada. How many strategic planning meetings are we going to have? It appears that every time that we get a new city manager, this is what we do. The general plan is outdated by 20 years. Assemblymember Ramos gave $3 million for us to create a new general plan. I believe maybe 2018, 2019, we spent over $4 million on a general plan with PlaceWorks. Where's that general plan? We don't have the information, never presented to council. This is a problem. We just recreate, go in and spend the people's money on having these strategic planning meetings that you never ever implement, and you all know that that is correct. Where's the strategic planning information from City Manager McNeely? Where is it? I hear that you call it his plan. I've heard you say this to me. The council gave direction. City manager came back and provided us with what we asked for. It is our job then to allow them to implement that. Where's the strategic planning from Rob Field? We just continue to just do this over and over. This cycle is not good for the city, so that we're not impressed, Councilmember Sanchez.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello. Gross negligence continues from Christine Watson and Jasmine Glover. May and June, 502 euthanized, 260 arrived dead, and 73 in their care died. 835 dead animals in 2 months. As Albert Einstein said, the world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people that do not do anything about it. Well, that's you, City Council. The animal shelter is experiencing an outbreak of distemper and parvo because management is negligent. All they need to do is allocate a separate area for isolation. They don't do that. And they do not have proper sanitation practices. So the animals are getting sick again. One dog they test in the cage of 6, let's say 6 animals. If one comes up positive, they kill them all. That's not fair, because the older dogs probably had immunity from getting past immunizations. The phrase "stupid is as stupid does" indicates that someone's actions reflect their intelligence. Even a highly intelligent person can be considered stupid for acting foolish. We are judged not by what we say, or not what we know, but what we do. I brought you a problem, I gave you a solution. Are you stupid, City Council?
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker.
David Hanson, Daryl Evie, Harry Hatch, Michaela Davis, Junior Carrillo, Jim Smith, Dolores Armstead, Ronald McCullough, Raul Gudino, Athela Gudino, Terry Boykins.
Thank you. Please state your name. Harry, you can proceed.
Good evening, Council. Harry Hatch. I am not going to talk to you about what you have not done, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to try to help you to get it done with. I'm making a complaint to the California State Fire Marshal's Office that the City of San Bernardino's safe and sane fireworks regulations are not being enforced. We will see then if the State Fire Marshal will allow you to continue to sell safe and sane fireworks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
My name is David Hanson, and I need to provide public notice to the City of San Bernardino. This is in accordance with the USC Rules of Civil Procedures, as well as Rule 17 and Rule 20 of the United States Supreme Court. The Constitution of the United States has overreaching requirements that every state must follow. I don't think anyone will deny that. The states cannot enact their own alternative legislation, substitute for the guarantees of the Constitution of the United States. That would mean that the state laws are more powerful than the Constitution. The United States Clause 1 of Amendment 5 of the United States Constitution says, "No person shall be held to answer for the capital or otherwise infamous crime unless or presentment of grand jury." However, the state of California has enacted its own alternative legislation that permits the prosecuting attorney or police officer to charge by information, not by indictment. That is unconstitutional. An emolument violation is when you pay a public official to break the law. The Constitution has two areas that enforce this. One is the 14th Amendment. The other one is Article 1, Section 10, where it says that no state shall create any law that shall impair the obligation of contracts. Police officers, prosecutors, judges are all under a contract to perform that's based upon the oath or affirmation that they took. The privileges and immunities of the United States citizens are at a minimum. Those enumerated within the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, they cannot be impaired. And thus, the state of California has enacted a law in its inferior constitution that's permitting public officials and law enforcement whom you pay to violate the Constitution of the United States. As a result, there's an inordinate amount of people that are being imprisoned in California, as well as many children that are illegally and unconstitutionally being taken away from their parents by CPS. Therefore, Tanawa Downing is litigating this issue in the United States Supreme Court, and I have a paper for you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Terry Boykins, Project Fighting Chance. Mayor, City Council, I want to say thank you for making arrangements at Nunez Park for the encampment. We've had the opportunity to have the cleanup. We understand the predicament of individuals there, but we have had a significant increase of youth that have returned to Ruben Campos Community Center. And that was a very good thing that we needed to have occur. We do also want to invite the City Council to come by Ruben Campos. We currently have our summer enrichment program for somewhere in July that young people can go while school is on break. And there are 158 youth that have been signed up to participate in that program. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. All meals, activities from you name it, it's there. We also wanted to, back in 2024, we actually were awarded the CDBG awards. And in hope for that and preparing for the summer, air conditioning, cooling systems, 148 kids, it's going to get hot in Ruben Campos. And so we would like some development as to the status of that, so we can actually prepare to offer more services to youth after school. We were full, we have a waiting list, and that is something we want to do. And then last but not least, in August, we will have a celebration. We do have the WBF World Champion, Terry Washington, who is here in San Bernardino. So we want to let you know about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your
Hey,
name.
with the mayor, city council people, and public. My name is James Smith. I'm chairman of the Arts and Historical Preservation Commission. I want to commend very much the Park and Recreation Committee that come to our meetings every month. They do a great job. I think they deserve a round of applause. Thank you very much. And it's their month, so let's make sure that we continue to improve the city of San Bernardino. I want to shout out for the council people that are taking the time to clean up the streets in San Bernardino. I hope that every council person here is responsible for cleaning up their wards. She cannot clean up other wards. You need to look at your wards and make sure that they're clean. This should be a community effort of all the council people to beautify our city. That's why that's how we can improve the image of San Bernardino and encourage people to come to San Bernardino to live and to visit. Please keep that in mind. Again, commend the Park and Recreation Department. I want to thank the mayor. She had all the commissioners for our lunch the other day, and we talked about the arts and historical preservation, the animal control, also the charter review committee that will be activated under the new city administrator.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Good evening, council members. My name is Raul, and I want to take the time today to say thank you to the council members, the San Bernardino Police Department, and Mr. Gabriel Elliott for listening to me at the last city council meeting regarding the halfway house that is right next to my home that is currently housing 6 convicted rapists, 2 of them being child molesters, and being listed as high risk to be repeat offenders. I appreciate that after the meeting, you all spoke with me to stay in touch regarding this issue and what next steps to take. I also appreciate the increased police presence in my community because it makes us feel that we didn't fall on deaf ears and that our city cares for us. But the issue still persists, and our one safe community is still living in fear every day. I did receive a call last week from code enforcement regarding a complaint concerning the halfway house having an illegal modification behind the house that creates an extra room that does not have permits or is approved by the city. The complaint also included the halfway house having a 6-foot-high wall that was illegally built without having any rebar being used to build it, creating another violation. How is it that this house was able to be bought by an outside investor without the house listing mentioning the illegal room that was built attached to the home, and the state approved the use of this home to be a halfway home, but there were no inspections done to ensure that the house was retrofitted correctly and legally to use it for that reason? Who's to say the home doesn't have any other illegal modifications that we don't know about? It was all done so fast that the community never had time to block it. Mr. Juan Figueroa, I do appreciate your time. I know you're busy. I'm waiting for your response to my email. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hi, everybody. It's my first time here. I'm nervous. My name is Michaela. I just came to talk about ICE for a moment. That's a big issue I've been noticing around the community. I'm outraged to see and hear about the incidences of mass anonymous people kidnapping our neighbors in our neighborhoods. These are people that are some of the most hardworking, reliable people that have contributed so much to our communities and to our economy also. Their children being ripped away from their parents, parents from their children, people who need caregivers, medication, they're not getting that care that they need. Whether it's they're documented or not, criminal history or not, they're all being taken. Citizens are being taken. There's been 93% of people who were never convicted of any violent crimes that were booked by ICE. 65% of people taken by ICE had no prior convictions. This is a huge issue because the excuses being used to let this happen, it's not consistent with what's really happening. I just want to see if you
Thank
guys
you.
can make some change about it.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Ellen Tran, council members. I wasn't really ready to do this, but I just want to let you know that it's a cry for help because I'm the one who lives next to the halfway home. You know, it's been very hard for us, for our families, for our members of our community, because if you go to Megan's Law and do a little research and do what they did, how they did it, and why they used to rape or molest children, it's despicable, you know. I really cannot sleep anymore. I really worry all the time. It's something I never expected because I've been living here in that house for 33 years. I used to live in Norwalk and Bellflower, but this is too much for our community. I don't know why they don't make strict laws to see where do you put those ex-convicts, because you know what? You never know what's going to happen to those people. You never know what's in their minds. You never know if they're going to do it again, because some of them, they did it again. You don't know if they're going to snap one day, and then something is going to happen in a neighborhood because they really don't put strict laws to where you put those people. Please, I ask for help to relocate them in a safer place for them, in a safer place for us. I really appreciate this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, Dolores Armstead. I knew that Burtec, the rate increase was going to happen. We already knew that. But there needs to be a disclosure. Several of you, most of you, have received campaign funds from Burtec, except Councilmember Ortiz. The rest of you have received campaign funds that should have been disclosed when he came up there. Most of you have received campaign funds in the last year. Why didn't any of you disclose that? We know Councilmember Ortiz did not, but the rest of you did. Next, San Bernardino has again been ranked the 11th most miserable city to live in. You should be ashamed, but I know you're not. I know you're not. Why? It's because it looks like a war zone. It's filthy. Leadership is corrupt. What is taking you so long to do anything? There are no places for a business to meet or eat except fast food because nobody wants to locate here. Why? Because of you people. You, council members, wards 1 through 4, and the mayor, you've been here the longest, and you've done nothing to change this city. You are an embarrassment. To be ranked number 11 as the most miserable city, we have to look at you. We as citizens, we pay our tax funds for you to do nothing. You are an embarrassment to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Good evening, Mayor. My name is Ronald McCullough, and I'm a house navigator, and I'm also a case manager. We have a new program out here, a new nonprofit called Inspire Together. I believe we're in Mr. Figueroa's ward. We're located at 199 South Arrowhead Avenue. I'm just here to give you guys some flyers. I would really appreciate it if you leave it in your office. And if you have any issues, if you have any youth between the ages of 18 and 26, I'm here to help them. Really, we help the incarcerated and need support, contact me. Anybody that's in jail, there's a program called CAIS. I'm able to go to the jails if they have 6 months left. I can be able to build a rapport with them, and hopefully by the time they get out, I will have a job and housing for them so they can hit the ground running. I also have these flyers for you. Let's make San Bernardino great. I got your back. Mr. Figueroa, please come visit us. We do have a grand opening on August 1st. I'll shoot you an email. But I would really appreciate if you came and seen us and came and seen our location. God bless you guys. The people out there that live, those 290s, those sex offenders, just pray for them. You know, they all need prayer. Everybody needs prayer. We're in a spiritual warfare. So let's all come together and make San Bernardino great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, my name is Daryl with Family Assistance Program. I was really excited to see the item on the agenda about the Patton Hospital project. We all know that we have a lack of housing in our area. Everywhere in California, we have a lack of housing. Currently, there are 15 homes that are sitting empty at Patton Hospital. They've been sitting empty for over 20 years. And we've been working for years with Assemblymember James Ramos to try to move this forward and actually do something with those homes and that extra vacant land there. So our goal is to rehab those homes and allow create transitional housing program for homeless youth and homeless victims of crime. We're also looking at the land around it to develop 120 units of housing in combination with that project. Family Assistance Program has been working closely with Assemblymember Ramos for the last probably 4 years on this. We've been talking about it. Also, Mayor Tran has been actively involved with this. We've had multiple meetings, and I would love an opportunity to be able to share more detailed information about what we're planning to do. It's one of the easiest ways to address homelessness is to take houses that are empty and let people live in them. So that's what this project is based on, and then this extra land that's sitting around, let's put a bunch of houses on it. Let's let people live there. So thank you.
Thank you.
Fernando Baxter, Milagros Sanchez, Rosario Quiroz, Pascal Garcia, Alberto Hernandez, Delia Guzman, Rosa Reyes, Mabi Acosta, Raymond Jimenez, Yesenia Ramirez, Yisvi Ramirez, Kathy Melendez, Yesenia Barrera.
Thank you. Please state your name.
Yes, hi, my name is Fernando Baxter. I want to thank the mayor and the council for your time. I'm here today to protect my family and our neighborhood. As you may have heard, there is a halfway house that has been put forward right across the street from our home. I grew up in a neighborhood that was absolutely amazing. I would play outside, I would race with the kids up and down the street. In this area now, to the left and the right of the halfway house and across, there's 11 kids. These are 11 children who can't go outside, who can't play in their front yards. Now, I've heard the argument to pray for them and let them be, but they ruined the life of their victims. They ruined their lives, and now they are ruining the lives of the people in our neighborhood, and it's not okay. Having a sex offender in your neighborhood is kind of like having a stone in your shoe. You always got to think of your next step. Did I lock the door? Is everyone okay? Can I open the garage? We don't even go outside anymore. We stay inside or in the backyard if we want to do anything. So it's really changed the dynamic of what is our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. My name is Rosario Quiroz. I'm with the community from the airport in San Bernardino. I'm with a coalition of local residents and community organizations that they're together to support an economical development that's healthy in our region. I'm here because I want to express my frustration because of the lack of there's not been denouncing on the San Bernardino City Hall about the kidnappings, about ICE that are happening in our communities, the impact that this violence has been having in the people that are supposed to be representing. It's awful. I'm really worried about the lack of transparency of the supposedly municipality or the City Hall on how they spend their money instead of investing it on the reduction of pollution of the air. The pollution of the air is affecting our health. They're supposed to think about how they're affecting us and how there are resources on our community because we deserve to breathe clean air. And the City Hall in San Bernardino has a responsibility to protect our community and to use the do better use of the funds and prioritize our communities. We have the opportunity the opportunity in our community to do to work in our city and our neighborhood to do a better place for it to live. That's why I am a part of the communities from the airport in San Bernardino. The residents, we try to talk together and put our voices together. Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Me llamo Rosa Reyes y vivo en San Bernardino.
My name is Rosa Reyes and I live in San Bernardino.
Estoy con las comunidades del aeropuerto de San Bernardino.
I'm with the San Bernardino communities.
Somos una coalición de residentes locales y organizaciones comunitarias
We're a coalition of community members from the area.
que se unen para apoyar un desarrollo económico saludable en nuestra región.
And we've been coming together to develop and establish a healthy living community in our area.
Estoy aquí hoy para expresar mi frustración por la falta de denuncia del Ayuntamiento de San Bernardino sobre los secuestros de ICE.
I'm here to denounce and express my frustration at the lack of engagement by this city council denouncing the kidnappings that have been facilitated by ICE.
Que ocurren en nuestras comunidades.
That have been happening in our communities.
El impacto que esta violencia ha tenido en las personas a las que se supone que representan es terrible.
The impact that this has had on the communities that you're supposed to represent is terrible.
Me preocupa el trauma que mis vecinos, nuestros hijos y yo estamos experimentando durante este violento ataque a nuestra comunidad.
The violence and trauma that my community has experienced during these attacks is atrocious.
Necesitan hablar de lo que está ocurriendo en nuestras comunidades y que ustedes inviertan y envíen en una reducción de la contaminación de aire.
And we believe that you should be addressing this. In addition to that, you need to be addressing and putting resources towards the reduction of air pollution.
Necesitamos estas cosas porque durante la noche sueltan los malos olores del centro de aguas residuales, lo cual es muy dañino para nuestra salud.
We need to be focusing on the reduction of contamination, especially from the recycling plant, which emits a lot of pollution and toxins and bad smells that we have to inhale.
Y nos sentimos con náuseas y dolores de cabeza.
We
Gracias.
become nauseous and experience a lot of headaches as a result of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias. Next speaker.
Hola, mi nombre es Delia Guzmán y estoy con la comunidad del aeropuerto de San Bernardino.
Hi, my name is Delia Guzman. I'm part of the San Bernardino communities.
Somos una coalición de residentes locales y organizaciones comunitarias unidas que se unen para apoyar un desarrollo económico y saludable en nuestra región.
We are a coalition made up of residents, local residents, and organizations that have decided to come together to support the development of a just San Bernardino that is a healthy area.
Estoy hoy aquí para expresar mi frustración y la falta de denuncia del Ayuntamiento de San Bernardino sobre los secuestros de ICE.
I'm here to denounce the fact that the San Bernardino City Council has not spoken up about the ICE kidnappings that have been taking place in our communities.
Que constantemente están pasando entre nuestras comunidades y el impacto que está generando esta violencia a las personas que se supone que representan estos terribles e imperdonables.
And I want to denounce the kidnappings that ICE has been conducting in our communities. I want to denounce the impact that you've been silent and complicit for. This is violence against the individuals that live in our communities while you're supposed to represent us.
Pero también es preocupante la falta de transparencia del presupuesto municipal.
But it is also worrying that you have not been transparent about the way the economic dollars of this city are being spent.
cómo se gasta el dinero y hasta qué mencionarse es una de las tantas cosas que se ocupan de mejoras en San Bernardino.
How is the city money and dollars being spent? Part of your responsibility is to communicate the use of city dollars for its community.
Por mencionar una, es la reducción de contaminación del aire.
To mention one way these dollars should be used is for the reduction of air pollution.
Ya que la contaminación, sin dejar de mencionar la constante actividad de trailers por los que genera contaminación, sin dejar de mencionar el aeropuerto de San Bernardino.
Because the contamination is ongoing and it includes a constant renewal of additional fumes emitted by trucks and the railway.
Y los impactos de salud que están en nuestras personas de nuestra comunidad, sean personas mayores de la tercera edad, así como niños.
And the drastic impact this is creating for our community members, whether it be young people or seniors in our area.
Necesitamos que tomen responsabilidad, sea un lugar mejor y seguro para vivir.
We need you to take responsibility so that we can live in a healthier place.
Thank you. Gracias. Next speaker.
Me llamo María Milagros.
My name is María Milagros.
Estoy aquí con las comunidades del aeropuerto de San Bernardino.
I'm here part of the San Bernardino Airport communities.
Somos una coalición de residentes locales de organizaciones comunitarias que se unen para apoyar el desarrollo económico saludable en nuestra región.
We are a coalition made up of local residents that have come together with organizations to develop a healthy economic plan for our region and our community.
Estoy aquí hoy para expresar mi frustración y la falta de denuncia del Ayuntamiento de San Bernardino sobre los secuestros de ICE que ocurren en nuestras comunidades.
I'm here to express my frustration because of the lack of denouncing by this San Bernardino City Council about the ICE kidnappings that have been taking place in my community.
El impacto que esta violencia ha tenido en las personas a las que se supone que representan es terrible.
The impact this violence has had on people living in our community, people that are supposed to be protected, has been terrible.
Me preocupa el trauma que estamos sufriendo mis vecinos, nuestros hijos, mis hijos y yo durante estos ataques violentos contra nuestra comunidad.
It worries me to see the trauma that I am living, that my neighbors are living, that my children are living during these violent attacks against our community.
En lugar de ignorar estos ataques, deberían centrarse en apoyar a nuestras comunidades con recursos como un centro de empleo con diferentes recursos que nos ayude a prepararnos para tener mejores trabajos seguros y tener más oportunidades de empleo.
Instead of ignoring these attacks on our community, you should be focused on improving our communities, and you should focus on developing, on putting resources towards a job center to support with different types of resources that would help prepare us to have better types of jobs, safer jobs, and more opportunities for employment.
El Ayuntamiento de San Bernardino tiene responsabilidad de proteger a nuestras comunidades y abordar el uso de fondos y la priorización de recibir nuestras comunidades de su parte.
The San Bernardino City Council has a responsibility to protect our community and to face the poor use of city funds and dollars and prioritize our community's needs.
Tenemos una oportunidad en nuestra comunidad para hacer de nuestra ciudad y nuestro vecindario un lugar mejor para vivir.
We have an opportunity to make our community a safe and healthy place for all of us to live.
Thank you. Gracias. Next speaker.
Buenas tardes, me llamo Alberto Hernández, vivo en San Bernardino ya por 30 años.
Good afternoon, my name is Alberto Hernandez. I'm a resident of San Bernardino for the last 30 years.
Estoy con la comunidad del aeropuerto de San Bernardino. Somos una coalición residente local y organizaciones comunitarias que se unen para apoyar un desarrollo económico saludable en nuestra región.
I form part of the San Bernardino Airport Communities. We are a coalition made up of local residents and organizations that support us, that have been working to develop a strong economic region that is safe for our community.
Estoy aquí hoy para expresar mi frustración por la falta de denuncia del Ayuntamiento de San Bernardino sobre el secuestro del ICE que ocurre en nuestras comunidades.
I'm here to express my frustration about the lack of denouncement by this city council about the ICE kidnappings that have been taking place against my community.
El impacto que esta violencia ha tenido en las personas a las que se supone que representan este terrible. ¿Por qué no defienden a la comunidad el abuso que está haciendo el ICE? Especialmente los que vienen enmascarados, que no sabemos quiénes son. Están secuestrando a nuestra gente y unos están yendo hasta Miami, los arrestan, se desaparecen de aquí y los de Miami los traen acá. ¿Qué hacen ustedes para parar eso?
I'm here to express my frustration about the lack of denouncement that this city council has had to denounce the ICE kidnappings. It's ridiculous that some people are being detained here and transferred all the way to Miami. What are each one of you doing to ensure the protection of our community here?
Me preocupa que la mayor parte de dinero del ayuntamiento se destine a la policía, al departamento de policía, cuando la policía no nos protege. En lugar de esta ciudad debería de invertir en recursos como un centro de trabajo que necesitamos, capacitación para la comunidad y trabajos locales que sean seguros y bien pagados.
It worries me that the largest part of the city's budget is spent on the police department. We all know that more police does not keep the community safe. Instead, these funds should be put towards resources like a job center. We need trainings for our community to gain good jobs, local jobs, safe jobs.
Thank you. Gracias.
Gracias. Espero que hagan algo especialmente por nuestra comunidad, porque no es justo que esas gentes enmascaradas, que ni siquiera son del ICE, vienen y arrestan nomás a puros golpes, los arrastran, les quiebran los vidrios de los carros y se los llevan.
Thank you, sir.
Por favor,
Gracias.
haga algo por eso.
Gracias. Next speaker.
Okay, my name is Yesenia. I'm with the San Bernardino Airport Communities, and we are a coalition of local residents and community organizations coming together to support healthy economic development in our region. I'm here today to express my frustration that the San Bernardino City Council has not denounced the ICE kidnapping taking place throughout the surrounding communities. The impact of the violence that had on you that's supposed to be represent and appalling. With that, how do you guys sleep knowing that these things are going on? I'm concerned of the majority of the city's budget going towards the police department instead of investing in more space for kids to play. We need these things because it's not just important to me, but also for many other kids to go outside and play more. The San Bernardino Council has responsibility to protect our communities and address to our mismanagement of the resources that prioritize our communities and are receiving. We have the opportunity in our communities right now to make our city and neighborhoods a better place to live. That's why I'm part of the San Bernardino Airport Communities, that our residents can lift up our voices together. Did you guys hear me loud and clear? Okay then.
Thank you. Next speaker. Please state your name.
Hi, my name is Yisbi Ramirez. I'm in the San Bernardino Airport community. We are a colonized local residents in the community organization coming together to support the health economic development in our region. I'm here today to express my frustration in the San Bernardino City Council. It has not denounced the ICE kidnapping and taking place throughout our surrounding communities. And the impact in this violence has had on people that's supposed to represent us and appeal. I'm concerned that the majority of the city's budget is going towards the police department instead of investing more in spaces for kids to play. As a young adult, this should be motivating me to go outside more than just staying inside. It would also benefit you guys as well, because your guys will be able to be playing more and just staying inside and playing video games. The San Bernardino City Council is responsible to protect our community and address the mismanagement of the resources and prioritize our communities more. We have the opportunity in a community right now in our community and in our neighbors to have a better place. This is why I'm part of the San Bernardino Airport community and residents to lift our voices together. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Pascual García y vivo en la comunidad del aeropuerto.
Good afternoon. My name is Pascual Garcia, and I live in the San Bernardino Airport communities.
Y estoy aquí para expresar la inconformidad de las denuncias que no ha hecho la ciudad de San Bernardino de los secuestros de ICE que ocurren en nuestra comunidad, el impacto de las violencias que ha tenido las personas, las que han representan y terrible, porque no defienden la comunidad del abuso que está haciendo el ICE, y me preocupa la mayor parte del presupuesto del ayuntamiento que se destina al departamento de policías y no invierte en las calles que caminamos, por lo que no son seguras, no tienen luces, no hay letreros de velocidad y hay troques pesados, y el ayuntamiento de San Bernardino tiene responsabilidad de proteger nuestra comunidad. Gracias.
I'm here today to express my frustration about the lack of denouncement that this San Bernardino City Council has had against the kidnappings that have occurred by ICE in our communities. The impact of the violence that this has had on people in my communities, people that this City Council is supposed to represent and protect, has been terrible. Why have you guys not come out to defend our community from the abuse that ICE has been having against our community? It worries me that the largest part of the finances of the city's budget is going towards the police department instead of investing it in developing better roadways that are safer, having more lights, making sure that big rigs don't travel through local communities, making sure that trucks are not speeding through our local areas. There's a lot of traffic. This city council has the responsibility to protect our community.
Thank you. Gracias. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, good afternoon, City Council. My name is Yesenia Barrera. I'm an organizer with the Warehouse Workers Resource Center. I'm also a member of the San Bernardino community and a mother. And I am here today to elevate my concerns and my frustration for the future of this city. There are a variety of things that you have the power to change, but you've refused to do it because you all don't see us as your equals. But let's not forget that we are all the reason why you're up there. There are countless ongoing projects which do not benefit any of the San Bernardino constituents. These projects bring in more warehousing for big corporations when important things that affect the community, they're being overlooked. Our streets are ruined, our air is polluted, traffic is increased, wages are low, and our protections are being minimized every day. So we need good jobs, we need clean air, we need more protections, not a displacement of people, not deteriorating buildings, not deteriorating streets. And I want to ask you all, where is all the funding going? If not to our people, where's all the funding going? And also, let's address the elephant in the room. ICE has been terrorizing and kidnapping our people, left and right, separating families. And you've all been turning a blind eye. Nothing has been said. No policies or protections have been put in place to protect our people. And I'm wondering why that is. Hardworking people, they're being kidnapped and treated inhumanely just because of the color of their skin and where they came from.
Thank you.
The silence has been loud.
Thank you, ma'am.
But what will you all do?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please state your name.
My name is Cassie, and I'm an organizer at the Warehouse Worker Resource Center and a community member who works in San Bernardino. I'm here because I've supported workers at warehouses across the city, and I am appalled that the city of San Bernardino has not invested into jobs that offer everyday families the mobility, competitive wages, and safe working conditions that they deserve. We have an opportunity to make San Bernardino better, not through the decisions that any one of you personally makes, but through the organizing of the San Bernardino airport communities who are daring you to invest in community resources like a job center. In a time that San Bernardino residents are being terrorized by immigration enforcement and the police department that you have heavily funded, take a stance. Stand with your constituents. Make it a priority to create a community benefits plan with us and keep ICE out of San Bernardino.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Buenas tardes, me llamo Mavia Costa, vengo de la coalición de San Bernardino. Ella me va a traducir.
I'll be reading her comment for her. My name is Mavia Costa. I live in San Bernardino, and I'm part of the San Bernardino airport communities. I'm here today to express my frustration and the lack of denouncement from the city council against the kidnappings ICE has been doing in our communities. The impact this violence has had on the people you are supposed to be representing is terrible. I am worried about the trauma that myself and my neighbors and my kids are suffering during these violent attacks against our community. Instead of ignoring these attacks, you should be centering in supporting our community and investing in a reduction, in a plan to reduce contamination of the air. A reduction of pollution is going to give us more time to live and a better life. The City Council of San Bernardino has the responsibility to protect our communities and address the horrible use of funds, as well as the kidnappings ICE has been doing in our community. You need to prioritize okay, what our communities are receiving from your part is not enough. We also need better jobs. You have the opportunity, we have the opportunity here in our communities to make the city better and for our neighborhoods to be a better place to live.
Thank you. Gracias. Madam City Clerk.
Martiza Andrade, Heker Rocha, Jonas Fernandez, Lisette Torres, Tanya Gonzalez, Brenda Huerta, Kevin Torres, John Schollenberger, Sandra Ibarra.
You could turn on your mic. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. My name is Maritza, and I am here to stand with the San Bernardino airport communities who are fighting for economic development that does not hurt their community. I am here because I am deeply concerned about the health and safety risks that these residents feel and that our community feel just by living here. When community members step outside their homes or open their windows, we breathe some of the worst air quality in the country. When we drive on these streets, we drive on roads riddled with potholes from the same semi-trucks brought in by the ever-expanding logistics industry. You are all elected officials. Each of you is here because you were voted into this position. It is your responsibility to prioritize the health and the well-being of the San Bernardino community. Instead, you are complicit in the harm that these warehouses pose. And in the face of the violent kidnappings of the past month, San Bernardino City Council has done nothing to denounce ICE's presence here. You are complicit in every person kidnapped, in every child with asthma, and every injury that happens on the warehouse floor. That is what your legacy is. And by the way, these people took a lot of time out of their day to come here and talk to you. So I don't understand what is so important, so interesting about your lap or about the wall that you can't pay them the attention and the respect that they deserve.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, my name is Lizette, and I want to ask the folks here a question. What's the most beautiful part of San Bernardino? Is it the warehouses encroaching in our backyards, with unsafe working conditions, the terrible air qualities from the industries that you listen to more than us, and maybe even line your pockets? Is it the lack of accessibility and transportation and the community spaces? No, that's not what's beautiful, but what really is beautiful is the sheer love and hope that the people behind me have in this community and the love for their city and their neighbors. So I'm here for two demands. One, invest in community-centered and led solutions. We're the ones who know the city and knows what it needs. We're raising families here, we're playing here, we're laughing, we're working, we're bonding, and so much more. We have a culture here. We need decision-making power and policies that affect us and our future generations. And number two, we're asking you to stand up for us. I'm asking, do you feel what's going on in the city? Do you feel the violence, the sheer fear? Do you hear the screams, the wailing? Your family member goes to the store to get his groceries. Some unmasked man comes and steals him, and you don't know what happened to him. But you don't care, do you? I saw you kikiing over there, Mr. Sanchez. You're ignorant. You're ignorant and simply do not care. Your silence kills. Your silence are part of these kidnappings. So at the very least, step up or we will.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, City Council. My name is Jonas Fernandez, and I'm here with the airport communities. I live in Loma Linda, and I have lived and worked in San Bernardino for most of my life. I'm here today because I'm concerned about the semi-trucks passing near my neighborhood and the health and well-being of everyone. I live right by a major truck route by San Bernardino Avenue and all the other warehouses near the airport. We have an opportunity in our community right now to make our city and neighborhood a healthier place to live in accordance with air quality. We need alternate truck routes and a reduction in pollution to make the air less hazardous. As a reminder, air quality from trucks causes potential health risk to longtime residents such as asthma and bronchitis due to smog, and that the San Gregorio Mountains hold all the smog like a bowl. I took the time out of my day to be here with my neighbors and make up the San Bernardino airport community, so you know that our community is watching. We need to make sure that you represent the community's interests because residents such as myself live and work in these exposed areas. I hope you guys invest in changes that impact our long-term health. And as a final comment, keep ICE away from our streets. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
My name is Brenda Huerta, and I'm with the San Bernardino Airport Communities. I'm here to express my frustration on the fact that the City Council has not addressed the ICE kidnappings taking place in our communities. The people you claim to represent are being taken away from our streets because of the color of their skin. How dare you do business as usual when people are being kidnapped from the streets? We walk, we work, and we live. All you want from us is our labor. You want immigrants to work in these warehouses and take the low-paying jobs. And you don't even have the decency to spare a few words about how this council will protect San Bernardino residents. Companies like Amazon that you are allowing to come into San Bernardino pollute our communities and exploit workers are also giving the technology to ICE to surveillance and kidnap people. We will remember your silence and complicity. especially the day you come back to our communities to ask for our vote to re-elect you. Sanchez, these communities are the ones that you're supposed to be representing, and you're laughing and you're in your phone, ignoring the fact that people are getting kidnapped. But when it's time for re-election, you come to our communities and you ask for their vote. How dare you? There are many things city councils can do to protect immigrant communities, such as enacting sanctuary policies, which is the very minimum that you all can do. Ensuring equitable access to resources, public safety, among other things. So we urge you to take action now.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, my name is Heber Rocha. I've been living here in San Bernardino for around 20 years or so, and I'm here today mostly because there's a term from the San Bernardino City Unified School District that I've carried with me for now, and that is making hope happen. And as far as that goes, I'm not sure I'm being seen a lot of that. One of the biggest reasons I'm here today is mostly because there's not enough job opportunities in our neighborhood. Opportunities that help us get ahead and not something temporary like all these warehouses that have been moving in. I've been getting involved with San Bernardino airport communities because the last thing the city needs is more warehouses, especially since the jobs that these warehouses bring are not stable and will eventually be taken over by machines. In addition, the quality of our roads and air have been deteriorating ever since we've been building warehouses nonstop. We need more green spaces like the nice organization that came here today that you guys actually helped out. And we need better workforce development that help our communities get out of poverty. Where are we supposed to breathe? Where are we supposed to walk? The people of San Bernardino deserve access to shade and better air quality just as much as anyone else. We deserve jobs that are here to stay and help us take root here in San Bernardino. Otherwise, people will continue to rightfully leave a warehouse wasteland. This is not how we make hope happen. The community is watching. Prove that you stand with the community and keep ICE out of here, please.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hi there. So my name is Kevin Torres. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't here, but I'd like to give my voice to a community member instead, to Howard Davis.
Hi, my name is Howard Davis. I'm with the San Bernardino Airport community, and we are a coalition of local residents and community organizations coming together to support healthy environmental developments in our region. I'm here today to express my frustration that the San Bernardino Council for not denouncing the ICE kidnapping that's taking place throughout our surrounding communities. The impact of this is violence and has people, has a head on the people, and supposed regarded as an appellant, is an appellant. I'm concerned that the majority of the city budget is going towards the police department instead of investing in a reduction of air pollution and more places for kids to play. Air quality in our area is really, really bad. You can see it. There's not enough play areas for kids to play. The San Bernardino Council has a responsibility to protect our community and to address mismanagement of resources and prioritize the community are receiving. We have the opportunity in our community right now to make the city a better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My name is Tania Gonzalez. I am also here with the San Bernardino Airport communities. I want to start off by asking Theodore Sanchez to actually pay attention to community. It seems that every time we come to give public comment, you have to get up, use the restroom. I'm not sure if you get diarrhea or I don't know, but yeah, just make sure you're paying attention to folks because right now, te estás viendo muy prepotente. I want to start off by expressing the same thing everyone here is expressing, right? The frustration and anger that you guys haven't spoken about what is happening in our community. Your constituents are being kidnapped. Whether they're documented, undocumented, doesn't matter. They're your constituents. But you haven't spoken up. The people that you're claiming to represent Yeah, they're being taken. But then again, you know, it's not surprising that you're not doing anything, since you never really do anything for our community. I mean, it shows with the budget, how you budget things. You're giving the majority of the budget to the police department, when in reality, if you ask people around here, they don't feel safer with cops. The more policing you have, the less safe people feel. You need to be actually investing money on things that actually make people feel safe. You know, better infrastructure, have actual lighting in the streets, have sidewalks so people don't have to walk on the street. Like, that's what you need to be investing on. So shame on y'all for not speaking up, and shame on you for your bad use of budgeting.
Thank you. Do we have any other speakers remaining?
No, we have no more speakers. We did also receive written comments that have been provided to the council on the dais, and it's a part of the agenda packet.
Junior?
Yes. I just want to put a little positive spin on a lot of things that have been said tonight. We have done a lot in the city. I mean, if we want to strive on the negative, we can criticize this city all day long. But we've done so much. I mean, I've heard a lot talk about paving. I mean, we got a paving project that's coming. We talked about dead trees. We've got money for dead trees. We got a sidewalk that money for sidewalks to repair the sidewalks. The parks were a mess 6-7 months ago. At least now they're clean. Pioneer Park got clean today. I mean, there's just so many things. We talk about the airport. We didn't even have an airport 5 years ago, and now we got an airport. Our city could be better. I'm not going to say we're perfect, but we need to strive on the positive stuff. To say our council hasn't done anything, that's not fair. I think each and every one in the council has their heart in making our city, including our mayor, our city better. But we gotta appreciate what we've got. I mean, I wish there was like a ride-along that you could be a council person for a week and see what you could do and see what kind of change you could make.
Please, public, please do not be disruptive. Allow him to speak.
Right.
Keep going. Thank you. Sorry.
That's okay. I understand. But like I say, if we just strive on the positive, this city can get better. I've been here 60, 70 years, and I've seen the city get better. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
You can go first, John.
Oh,
no, you'll go
first. Councilwoman.
Ladies first. Go ahead.
Councilwoman, you want to speak?
Yeah, let her speak.
I'll speak after John.
Can you just speak, please?
Just keep the meeting moving. Good evening, John Schellenberger, 7th Ward, City of San Bernardino. Dr. Ortiz, I appreciate your agenda review last night. You already broke down for the community what the cost would be, and it's very informative. You do this every week, every meeting, you do this for us, and I really appreciate that. One of the comments that you made was RFP. You're a big supporter of RFPs, going out for an RFP. I have a question for you, Mr. Sanchez. Okay, the last time when we were in here and my mayor and my council person wanted to go out for an RFP to get new legal services, just to give everybody a fair chance, you made a comment to her and you said, oh, is it because you don't want BB&K because they don't want to fund your re-election campaign? And oh, but I can help you fundraise. Okay, my question to you is, and a few people in the community want to know this too, is that what they're doing for you? Is that what's going on behind the scenes? Is that what's happening? Because that's what people are saying to me when they heard you say that. I'm not accusing you of anything, but that was the perception. My mayor and my council, they want to have a fair and adequate way to get us what we need. You don't have any trouble voting us into lawsuits, but you're awfully critical about things when they don't go your way.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Sandra Ibarra, and I come to you as a constituent, later as an elected official, but more than anything, I know the council has been very quiet. I've seen what's happened with ICE raids, and I know for a fact that it is our government paying for bounty hunters, and they're giving incentives to our military to come after immigrants. Whether you've done anything legal or illegal, they'll come after you. I have been in communication with our police department, I'm in communication with our city manager, and there's nothing more important to me to know that they stand behind the sanctuary state that we are. They're not going to be detaining people just because of your skin color. Our police officers have changed. There is a new type of policing in our community. And I hope you guys understand, they're not gonna target you. I would be scared. And I know the trauma people have faced throughout the decades as an immigrant community, because we never crossed the border crossed us. And I know that for a fact. So just know,
Please,
I gave you
allow her
guys
to
all
speak.
respect. I listened to you, and I want you to know that I stand behind you. Just because we haven't made an announcement, I don't know why, I'm here to make the announcement, and I want you guys to know that I stand behind you, because my parents were also immigrants. My grandpa was part of the Bracero program. So we know what it's like to be out there.
Thank you.
I have one more comment.
Thank you. But
One more comment.
I'm sorry, but the time is up.
One more comment.
And
Because
we got to be consistent.
audience has been
We have
disrespectful,
to-
Mayor. Audience has been
Ma'am,
disrespectful.
we have to be
I gave them their
consistent.
time, and that was my
We
time.
have to be consistent. I cannot treat anyone any different.
No, I know,
So
but
every public comment.
But is it fair that the
Ma'am.
audience cuts us off?
Ma'am.
Is it fair?
Ma'am.
And I'll tell
Ma'am.
you what Councilwoman Treasurer Ortiz is doing. And
Okay, we will stop now. We're gonna recess now for 5 minutes. Are we back? Okay. Thank you, public. Thank you, staff. Thank you, council, for the recess. It was a little more than 5 minutes, but it was much needed. Thank you so much. Before we begin, I just want to remind the public, please, when we are speaking, we have a public comments, the council speaking, please do not be disruptive. If you are, you'll be asked to leave the room. Because we need to really, truly respect one another, conduct business, and so that we continue to do the work of the city. Thank you so much. We will now move on to, I believe the public comments concluded, Madam City Clerk? We will now move on to consent calendar, items 3 to 8. Mr. City Manager, do you have any polls?
Yes, Mayor, members of the City Council. Item number 6, which is the vendor services agreement for with DM and G Construction. We want to continue that to the next meeting. Item number 6.
Thank you. Item 6 is pulled. Council members, I will be going down the line. Councilmember Ibarra, do you have any polls?
None.
Thank you. Councilmember Canas?
I do not.
Thank you. Councilmember Sanchez?
No.
Thank you. Councilmember Ortiz?
No.
Thank you. Mayor Potem?
7.
7. Councilmember Flores?
No polls.
Thank you. Councilmember Charette? Thank you. I have poll number 7, and is there a motion? Thank you for the motion.
Second.
There's a second. Please call for the votes.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Balance passes unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. Mayor Potem?
Thank you. Not so much any questions or anything, it just more thank you really than anything. This process was started about, I think it was, what was it, like 2 years ago, probably. I want to say thank you to Ms. Rosie and Ms. Sherry Anderson as well, who've kind of been leading the charge on this item. So I just wanted to say thank you to them, to the Colony Park area as well. Thank you so much for your patience in this process. I know that it took some time, but it was consistent. We were diligent. We continue to be able to do the studies that were necessary. We found the warrants necessary to justify the work that needs to go in there. And a thank you also to the City of Colton for the collaboration and partnership in getting this done as well. I know Councilman Echeverria is the neighboring
district there as well. So this is a win for them just as much as it is for us. But Azam, Lynn, thank you, to your staff, to the department, for the large amount of work that went into this and some of the other projects in that area as well. Certainly long overdue. And so just an opportunity for me to say thank you to just not just our staff, but also thank you to the residents in that area. And thank you for your patience down there as well. And so with that, I'll just move to approve.
Thank you. There's a motion. There's a second for item number 7. Please call for the vote. Thank you, Councilmember Charette. Your second.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Yes. Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. Now we will move on to discussion. Number 9, approve the annual renewal of the city's risk management insurance policies in the amount of $3,337,089 for fiscal year 2025-26. There's a motion.
Second.
There's a second. Please call for the votes.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Yes. Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes
Thank
unanimously.
you. Great job, staff. That was very smooth. We would now move on to items to be considered for future items. Number 10, discuss partnering with Family Assistance Program and Assembly Member James Ramos to create housing opportunities at Patton State Hospital for the unsheltered. Councilmember Ortiz?
Yeah, this is, I'd like to move to approve. It's just for us to be open to discussion and at the table. And if the city can bring anything back, that'd be great.
Second.
Yes. There's a motion second. Councilmember Canas?
Yes, I
Very
had a
brief.
question in regards to this partnership. And I first want to say our state assemblyman has been a tremendous partner to the city of San Bernardino. He has pioneered some legislation that has been just necessary for battling the pervasive issue of homelessness with AB, I think it's 249 as well as AB 349. One of those deals directly with youth, the other with mental, which is again very prevalent in the homeless community. So I can't speak highly enough about our state assemblyman, and I'm very big on partnerships. I know we had an item that I had introduced that the council passed in regards to exploring, just what we can do to effectively get individuals that are unhoused off of the streets. And we discussed partnering with the county. I think that should go beyond. So I thank you for introducing this because it should go beyond the county. We should definitely be having these conversations with our state and federal legislators as well. I did just want to know when you talk about partner, because I know that you had recently spoke with our county supervisor also about tent cities. And so when you're talking about housing, just what is that partnership going to look like? Have you guys already discussed something specifically?
So I'm not the one, I haven't had a conversation about tent cities.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Even with staff. But it's fine if that's what you want to do.
With county staff or our staff?
With county as well as our staff.
Well, I haven't had any meetings with the county, but regarding what Family Assistance Program is doing, it's strictly on the Patton campus, and so this is just for us to see what partnerships opportunities are available to us, what as they develop their plan, what we can be at the table for. And so we're not committing to anything, we're just opening ourselves to the conversation of if a partnership is available in the coming years with the development of the current housing they have, and then the potential, as he mentioned, 200 units. As for the interim stuff that you're bringing forward for us to create that aspect separately, that's a whole nother conversation when your item comes back that I'd love to have.
So is there already an MOU or a contractual agreement in place for this housing?
Councilmember, that's not for discussion.
Well, we need to know this in order to move forward with a partnership. So is there a partnership already with our MOU or contractual agreement?
They have been awarded the Patton campus.
They have?
They have, yes. So,
because what I want to make sure, because, in all transparency, the Family Assistance, one of their staff members did work on your campaign. So I just want to make sure that we're not circumventing any proper procurement processes and going into a partnership, because we've identified a specific entity to partner with.
So this is not us taking over Patton. They have been designated as the nonprofit that's going to be on the Patton campus.
So they have a contractual obligation that's already
Through
been
Ramos.
entered. Through what?
Through James Ramos. That was their operation with James Ramos. Now, Christian works for Family Assistance
Correct,
League.
yes.
And volunteered and ran for the 3rd Ward. So that's completely separate than what the city has an opportunity to be a part of a conversation. If we want, so this is a proactive move for the city of San Bernardino to be at the table as there is a development program in place through the efforts of Ramos and Family Assistance Program, for us to say we want to be able to have that conversation. If anything's viable, the city can bring it back to us, and then we can go from there. But it doesn't commit money, there's no contracts, there's no anything other than it has us at the table. That's what this is.
Okay, we have to be brief, everyone. Remember, this is not for discussion.
But I think Councilmember Canas makes a good point, and I would say that if we approve this, we take that wording out. I don't think we should be talking about a partnering with a specific group. We can talk about it in general, but not with a specific
They're the
group.
ones who have, so.
This is not for debate. I don't think we should be talking, can't we just take that wording out?
Sure, you want to,
Well, we can't amend it. It has to be approved as is or not. I'm willing to commit right now to putting it on at the next meeting without the verbiage of a specific service provider, without going out to RFP.
You can't do that. So we're not.
No, that's, here, let me finish.
Council, please, one at a time.
Well, yeah, so if I can
Councilmember
finish.
Sanchez.
Yeah. So I'm committed at the very next meeting to including the language to be discussing a partnership with Assemblymember James Ramos to create housing opportunities at Patton State Hospital for the unsheltered. I don't think it's right that we already designate, without an RFP, a service provider. So I'm willing to commit to that, so I'll vote no on this version, and I will bring it back forward at the next council meeting with that verbiage that I just read out.
You can't.
That's a motion.
Again,
Motion to deny.
you can't do that
Councilmember
because we're not choosing the service provider. Family Assistance Program has already been chosen through Ramos and the state efforts. They have the campus. We're not going to get the campus. It's not for us to go out for an RFP. All this is they're saying we would like to talk to the city of San Bernardino, see if there's available partnerships for their already dedicated they're moving forward with or without us. This is saying we want to be at the table to talk about what you're going to do, what we can do. So you can't take Family Assistance Program out of there because this is their project. They've already been awarded this.
That's not what your proposal is. Your proposal is
Shouldn't
partnering with, having the city of San Bernardino partner with Family
Right.
Assistance Plan. If we're going to partner with James Ramos and the Patton State Hospital, then the partnership would be through
Councilmember,
them.
let's just go call for it because it's yes or no. It's
So no, and I will bring it back
however
forward at the next
councilmember-
council meeting.
Mayor,
Councilmember?
no.
This is their project.
Mayor, one more comment.
Yes, Councilmember Charette.
And that is that with all this confusion, Theodore's right, and this is not, they should be coming to us and asking us to partner with them on their project, not, well, then let them bring it forward.
Okay, council, please, order. Is there a motion to move this item? So it's a yes or a no? That's all it is.
Mayor, there's a motion on the floor to
There's a
approve the
motion?
item.
Okay, is there a
Yes.
second? So we can just vote up or down?
Yes, it's
That's
a
it.
motion by Councilmember
Is there a
Ortiz and a
second?
second by Flores.
Okay, all right, go ahead and call for the votes.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Is the vote a yes, or what is the motion?
The motion, it's as presented, so the motion was to approve it as presented.
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes, and I'll apologize for the confusion on my part. I really do, but I appreciate you guys moving it forward.
Thank you, council. Moving on to item number 11, strategic planning, goal setting, and team building session. Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes, we have a new city manager coming in, and I want to make sure that right off the bat, we get started towards getting these goal setting, strategic planning, and team building done. Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Motion second. Please call for the votes.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
This is what's in the contract, correct? Or
Yes,
is
this is already in the city
strategic-
manager's
Strategic
contract.
plan, but I'm sorry, was this including strategic plan and specific plan? Or I just need a clarification on that. Is that what you're asking to come back to with the discussion? Yes? The part of the contract plan?
It's what's
Yes.
written.
Okay, it's what's written already in the contract, approved, got it, yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you, council. We will now move on to Mayor and City Council updates. Councilmember Ibarra.
None to report.
Thank you. Councilmember Canas.
None tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Sanchez.
Yes, the Mount Vernon Bridge, the largest public works project in the history of this city, is due to be complete next month. And so in those, I will.
There's a delay.
I will come. No, I will be coming forward with the details as we approach the date for the grand opening. And though I want the whole city to come out and celebrate this monumental milestone in our city. The next thing is we have the Business Roundtable next week at Studio D, the 5th floor of the Chase Building. And that is from 10 to 11 o'clock. I believe we have updates from PD as well as a couple business owners in the city. Thank you.
Councilmember Ortiz.
Thank you so much, Mayor. We have, first I want to wish everybody an upcoming happy 4th of July and a reminder that fireworks, safe and sane and illegal fireworks, are all illegal above the 210 freeway, and super appreciate that. Tomorrow, the Emperadores will be having their graduation at, I believe it's 5 p.m. There have been some great community meetings in my neighborhood, and they wanted me to extend a thank you to Operation and Maintenance for the wonderful paving that has moved forward, and you guys, as City Manager Garlo has said, is above schedule and beyond. Also, thank you for the stop signs that have been put in and all of the efforts throughout the city as a whole. People are really feeling it, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem?
Just happy Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember Flores.
Thank you, Mary. Wishing everyone a happy 4th of July, and I have a special shout out for my younger brother who's turning 20, who turned 20 today. So hopefully I can still make dinner. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Charette.
Ditto on the wishing everyone a happy 4th of July, a safe 4th of July, and a reminder, again, it's already been said, but about the fireworks. Please use them sanely and safely, and remember that the 210 is the line, nothing above the 210, and only safe and sane below the 210, but enjoy your families and our birthday of our country.
Thank you, Councilmember. And I do have some updates. And just to piggyback off of Councilmember Sanchez's Mount Vernon Bridge. So just to clarify, it may not be in August, but it is before the year's over. And San Bernardino County Transportation Authority is leading the effort to complete that bridge. So thank you so much, SBCTA. And they will be working with the city and city staff to coordinate the grand opening with the community. And so that, please stay tuned, because that's a huge, huge event for the West Side. On June 20th, I attended the grand reopening of the Family Assistance Youth Drop-In Center on Highland Avenue. Thank you, Darryl. And I was joined by a couple council members, Councilmember Ortiz, Councilmember Flores, as well as our State Assembly member, James Ramos. And everyone there, it was a beautiful, beautiful location. If you have not seen it, please, I encourage you to swing by, stop by, and all the services that is provided to our youth and our community. On June 24th, I attended the grand opening of the Self-Help Federal Credit Union on Carnegie Drive. Great resources to our community members, so congratulations. Thank you for being in our city of San Bernardino. On June 25th, I attended the grand opening of Starbucks on Central Avenue, another Starbucks grand opening, and we had our law enforcement, police officer, and our firefighters there with us, so that was awesome. And we served Starbucks. I attended the reopening of El Polo Loco on June 27th on Kendall Drive. That was a reopening, and so I really commend the owner who has that El Polo Loco since 1994 and really maintained that location. So thank you so much for all that you do. On July 2nd, I attended the Omnitrans Board meeting, the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority General Policy Committee membership caucuses, and the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority Board meeting. Before we adjourn, I want to take a moment to wish all of our San Bernardino residents a very happy and safe 4th of July. As we celebrate our nation's independence, let's remember the importance of community, freedom, and spending time with our loved ones. Please enjoy the festivities responsibly, and as a reminder, only safe and sane fireworks are permitted in the city of San Bernardino south of the 210 freeway. Illegal fireworks are dangerous and strictly prohibited. Let's keep our neighborhood safe for everyone, especially our children, veterans, and pets. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, staff. Have a good night. Bye-bye. See you next time. Oh, I need to say the meeting's adjourned. The meeting's adjourned at 8:13 p.m. The next joint regular meeting of the Mayor and City Council and the Mayor and City Council acting as the successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency, and the Mayor and City Council acting as the San Bernardino City Housing Authority, and Mayor and City Council of the City of San Bernardino acting as the San Bernardino Joint Powers Finance Authority will adjourn to the regular meeting to be held on July 16th, 2025 at the Feldheim Central Library located at 555 West 6th Street, San Bernardino, California, 92410. Closed session will begin at 4 p.m. and open session will begin at 5 p.m. Again, good night. Get home safely. Thank you.